we're live. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back for more. That's not Katawa Shoujo. That is Vinian. I do not need my avatar right now. My avatar's set up. I don't need it. I need my. Oh boy. I really wish there was a. I suppose I could just unfull screen it, but I want my borderless full screen. Let me check. Is it a? Oh yeah, it is a little tiny box. Give me the full size. Okay. OBS, do you want to pick up the app again? OBS, you gonna work from here? Oh, there we go. There we go. Alrighty. So, continuing through Emmy's route. Last stream was a bit of a a lot of things. Last stream was stressful. Oh, hello, my dear. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, last stream had me feeling pretty. I was getting concerned for where things were going, but it's just about managed to salvage it. And now we're on to what I believe is the final chapter of Emmy's route, so I'm hoping to finish this up, this stream. So, given that I might be pressed for time, let's get right into it. The morning sun is bright through my open window, and the sound of my alarm quickly has me up and about. I slept surprisingly well last night, secure in the knowledge that at least I've got another chance with Emmy. Just remembering last time that my voice got a bit quiet, I'm going to make sure my microphone is nice and close to my mouth this time. If I can just keep myself from doing anything stupid, maybe I'll find out what's been eating her recently. That's always a challenge, not doing the stupid things. I have a few educated guesses, but nothing concrete. And certainly nothing that I'm going to say to her. I'd much prefer to have her tell me herself. Emmy is waiting for me as promised, looking a little haggard, but otherwise bright and cheerful. Much more so than any previous day this week. Sao, you're late! I wave my hand dismissively. Nonsense, you're just early. Emmy grins back, and it feels like we're finally back where we should be with one another. Except now Emmy, not just me, wants to take another step forward. Although, a part of me worries that she'll back out at the last second. Hurry up and stretch, Hisao. I don't want to miss the bus. The bus? Yeah, the bus. I want to show you something. I don't want to be late. Oh, okay. I try not to grin too wide. I'm happy beyond words that Emmy wants to hang out after the run at all. But her promise of showing me something has me even more intrigued. Is this what she had to think about? I wonder just what she's planning to do. It's all pretty sad. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Hisao definitely could have thought of better ways to say that. Hisao's definitely, I feel, has the majority of the blame, but I feel there are things like Emmy could have. Like, I understand, like, what's happened in Emmy's past is, like clearly made it difficult for her to trust people. But I think Emmy seems a little unaware of how that refusal to trust someone could end up hurting them, especially when they're as close as, a boyfriend. Isn't an excuse for what Hisao said, but I suppose I'm saying, in a way, I understand why he got that annoyed. Don't think it was right at all, but you can understand something without agreeing with it. I quickly go through my warm-up routine while Emmy bounces impatiently from one foot to the other. She really does seem to want to get moving as soon as possible. Nothing new there. The run is over so quickly I can barely believe that I haven't fallen over dead afterwards. Emmy set a blistering pace, and I, in my foolishness, kept up with her. Oh, not actually did keep up with her, didn't just try? Well, until the last few laps. I had to slow down just in case, but I don't mind. And Emmy's waiting patiently for me when I finish. As patiently as she can wait, anyway. Finished? Good. Come on. Off we go immediately. Belly was definitely not reading the room well enough. Yeah, yeah. Like, what I was saying was bad enough, but the location made it even worse. Oh. Yeah, but I don't think Hisao was thinking much about what he was saying, let alone where he was saying it. Grabbing my arm, she practically rushes me down to the nurse's office. You seem in a hurry, Emmy. Trying to catch the early bus? Yeah, I told my mum I'd be back for lunch. Well, I'll take care of you first then. But Hisao's gonna come with me too. The nurse raises a single eyebrow at his statement and peers at the two of us searchingly. Oh yeah, because I imagine over the last week he's kind of gotten a fairly good idea of what's been going on, given that Hisao's not been showing up for the morning. Really? Today, huh? Emmy's response is a nod, followed by a surprisingly shy grin. Well then, I'll make this quick. Emmy enters the nurse's office, and I patiently wait outside for her to be finished, wondering just why the nurse seemed to be surprised by Emmy's declaration. I feel like I'm missing out on some joke or the significance of today, beyond the fact that it is clearly significant in some way, of course. True to his word, the nurse has Emmy out of his office surprisingly quickly, and I take her place after promising to meet up at the front gate. The nurse takes my pulse and listens for a bit. Your heartbeat's faster than usual. Been pushing yourself again, have you? Well, Emmy seemed in a rush to get through the run, so... I'm not surprised. Today is rather important to her, you know. I suspected that could be the case, but I have no idea why that's the case. Oh. That just feels like a massive coincidence that... Like, if we delayed even one day more before making up with her. She hasn't told you. Interesting. So, you're not going to tell me either, then? No, I'm not. I suspect that Emmy has her own plan for explaining today to you, and I don't want to mess with that. You'll find out soon enough, so what's the rush? Now, as for your heart, I would take it easy the rest of the day. No spontaneous races or anything like that. Got it? Got it. She won't have her running legs on anyway, right? No, but if you think something like that is going to stop her. Good point. I don't think it'll be much of an issue today of all days, but still. If he's trying to reassure me he's doing a terrible job, I'm quickly becoming more and more worried about what today could be for. Like, suddenly finding out Emmy's in a cult or something. At the same time, if today is such a big deal and Emmy wants me to be with her for it, then maybe she really does want to grow... oh, excuse me. Maybe she really does want to grow closer to me. Maybe this will be the answer to all the riddles. To the sleepless nights and the sudden mood swings. Oh, my fan has been loud. I need to check it. I just have to go without it this time. I don't hear it. Oh, you don't, but I am. Well, I was until I turned it off, and it was just doing that thing where it's rattling a bit, and it's kind of even if it wasn't coming through on the stream audio, I was hearing it in my ear the whole time. It was beginning to bug me. Oh. Either way, I barely remember to thank the nurse before taking off as quickly as I dare from my room to get a shower and throw on some decent looking clothes. If today is as important as it seems to be, I should dress appropriately. Emmy, of course, proved me wrong as soon as I reached the front gate, wearing her usual shirt and shorts. So at least I know it's not a terribly formal affair, whatever it is. You're early, Hisao. Not as early as you. Eager, are we? Emmy cheekily pokes out her tongue. The bus stop isn't very crowded at this hour, which seems to please Emmy, and we end up relaxing a little as we wait. We sit in silence for a while, but I can tell that Emmy's trying to work herself up to say something. I don't have anything to say myself, so I sit, waiting for her to talk. It doesn't take too long. So, I'm sure you're curious as to why the nurse thought it was so weird for me to be bringing you along today. It was a bit, yes, but if you're not ready to tell me... Emmy stops my sentence by placing a finger on my lips. Don't tempt me, Hisao. I want to tell you this, but I'm just uncertain as to how to go about it. I don't want to keep delaying or deferring. I just want to be able to say it. So say it. You know that it's not going to be that easy for me, Hisao. So, treat it like running. Warm up to it with something small and easy and go from there. Don't do it too fast, okay? I'm a patient man. I can wait for you to get there. Emmy seems to consider my words, weighing them against what is probably a desire to get it over with. I will admit, as much as I keep telling Emmy to take her time, I wouldn't mind her getting it over with either. But somehow I know that Emmy probably needs more time than the bus ride will provide to get it all out. Whatever it is. Yeah, maybe you're right. The bus stop probably isn't the best place for this anyway. But just to make sure that I don't go back on my word, I'll at least say this. She takes a deep breath, lets it out, and after a moment, says in a low voice, "We're going to see my dad today." The words hang in the air, and I can see that Emmy's afraid that I'll panic and disappear in response, which a part of me almost wants to do. Okay, so I feel I'm on the right track. I feel like I'm leaning towards like Emmy's dad being dead, and this is probably a grave visit. And given that it's a special day, I'm going to guess it's the anniversary of his death, and possibly also the anniversary of the accident. Don't know if it was a situation where her dad like died in the accident or just it took a few days. But it would be stupid of me to back out, or to suddenly abandon the promise I made to be there for Emmy when she needs me. The nurse thought it was so weird of her to bring me along. She doesn't bring anyone along. Or at least I'm willing to bet that she hasn't before today. Today seems to take on an even greater significance. What has it taken Emmy to even get this far? Ah. And why is that the best I can manage as a response? Yeah. I don't know what I should say. Nothing, I think. Just promise that you're going to come with me. Of course. You know I will. Emmy smiles wanly, looking a little relieved. Good. In that case, we'd better get going. The bus pulls up just a little after she finishes the sentence. Vague memories of my first trip out here come to mind as I step off the bus, but unfortunately they are too vague to be of any use. I will be the first to admit that I don't quite recall how to get to Emmy's house, so I let her lead the way. She seems content to walk in silence, and I myself have no idea what I could possibly say. So the two of us arrive at her house, having said nothing since getting off the bus. Emmy's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expected Emmy would have phoned ahead to let her mother know of the change in plans. Emmy, Hisao, you're just in time. Lunch is just about ready. Great. I was afraid we might be running late. As fast as you were going this morning? I doubt there was much chance of that. I certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Hisao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved. I hadn't noticed. This earns me a swat on the arm from Emmy, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and the almost brooding quiet walk, has quickly become cheerful again. Probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is Emmy plans to tell me later. Mrs. Ibarazaki ushers us in, and in short order we're around the table devouring lunch. I hadn't realised how hungry I was until I got here, but for once I seem to be eating almost as much as Emmy. Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. Two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days. I skipped breakfast this morning. Me too. Had to catch the bus, I assume? And I figured you'd make too much food, so it wouldn't matter if I skipped breakfast. Well, it's good to know that I'm predictable. Emmy nods enthusiastically, and the conversation falls off again as we very nearly clear the table of anything edible. It is a testament to the sheer amount of food on offer that we don't finish everything. I lean back in my chair with a sigh and thank Mrs. Ibarazaki for the food. I'm glad you liked it, Hisao. Now, has Emmy told you where we're going? Yeah, sort of. Is it far from here? Not really, but we'll drive there to save time. It closes kind of early. I nod in assent and stand up, ready to go. Well then, shall we? Mrs. Ibarazaki nods and leaves the room to grab her keys. Emmy, I notice, has started to fidget nervously. Second thoughts? Emmy smiles tightly at me and shrugs. She's fallen silent again, which probably means that I'm right, and she is starting to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her. She's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt it's easy to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. But she said while waiting for the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out. And since I promised to go with her anyway, I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. I just hope that both of us are up to it. We're off. Emmy's mother blows through the dining room, collects the two of us, and heads out the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from. The car pulls up at the cemetery gates, and I feel Emmy tense up beside me. I reach over and give her hand a comforting squeeze, which causes her to relax a little. Emmy's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emmy steps through the gates and looks back, as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries. Gravestones litter the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive and is no longer. How many died young? How many were as old as I am now? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? The concept of not waking up, not seeing Emmy anymore, is not a happy one. It frightens me, and I very nearly turn around and exit right then and there. I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were or what they could have been if they'd only had more time. That reminds me when I did my ministry and leadership course. One of our modules, the first class we had, our lecturer took us out on like a quick field trip into town to visit a graveyard and like go around, read the inscriptions, and kind of like just take note, like this is what is written there. What are people remembered for? And I always remember far and above anything else, the thing that people have written on their gravestones is like their loving father or mother or grandfather or daughter. Like it always seems to be about family or friends. It's all about your interpersonal connections. But I'm getting sidetracked. Then I look at the girl next to me, and my resolve returns. Emmy's striding purposefully down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace that's very nearly a jog. The sooner we get there, I suspect she thinks, the better. We're here. A gravestone, wholly unremarkable in everything except for the name etched upon it. The grass has grown up around the base. Emmy's eyes are riveted to the stone. After a few moments, she turns around, looking surprisingly calm, yet solemn. Pink's not actually my favorite color, you know. What? I'm warming up to it. Ah. People tend to think that pink's my favorite color. I think it's because I like strawberries, and even though those are red, they just assume that pink is the right color for strawberries. Yeah, I think it was the confirmation was like as soon as we showed up at the cemetery, I'm kind of. If he's not dead, this is a really weird place to meet up. And that is my favorite color, but it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise, of course, and it's not the kind of thing worth getting worried about. I'll bet even you thought pink was my favorite color. Had there been any mention about her favorite color before? I'm trying to remember that. Blue. That's my favorite color. My mom and dad are the only two who know that. Now you do too. Thanks for telling me, I think. You're welcome. There's a pause as she considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath. I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway. Well, there's one potential date idea out the window. People all think that I'm a really popular and friendly person, but I only have a few close friends. Probably because I keep everyone in the dark, but I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. Oh, I'm starting to realize she's just kind of like, is this her warm-up? Like she's just coming out with truths about herself that she hasn't shared with anyone before. And I imagine that's leading up to what happened around the accident. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end we broke up. I didn't want to get closer to him. He couldn't live with that distance between us. Her rate of speaking increases slightly, as if she's rushing towards a finishing line. I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everybody thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I had to skip one school year because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralyzed when they pulled me out of the wreckage. I'd lost my legs already, but they were afraid that I wouldn't even be able to use what was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that their initial assessment was mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs because of shock, short-term paralysis due to the other trauma I'd experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, or so they told me. I never found out if they were serious about that, or if they told that to all the patients learning to walk again. I think that's probably... The nurse said that to us as well, I think. That... Like, she went through her rehabilitation and was running again, like, in the same time most people would only be back to walking. She's the only one who's an older option compared to the other girls. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think any of the others saying, like, well, to be fair, I haven't really interacted enough with the others. I suppose, well, like, she's not necessarily the one you'd expect from looking at her to be the. I suppose you'd imagine more Lily probably looks like the more mature one. But that might be as much the way she acts. She pauses, gathering herself for one last effort. 8 years ago today, I lost my legs. And I lost my father as well. He died on the way to the hospital. I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later. And couldn't attend his funeral. You don't really look your age either. Oh, I've gotten to a stage where I kind of like, it's hard to get more than a vague appearance, like a vague guess at someone's age from how they look. Well, because two people the same age can look so different from one another. Well, I remember I was down at the shop the other day, and there had been a new staff member working, and my mum was trying to tell me who he was because he was someone. I said, "Did he look like he was in high? Did he look like he was in like I think like fifth year or something, like around like 17, 18?" And it's kind of was so hard to tell. It's like guys who are like 17, 18, some of them can look really like fairly mature already, and others like can still look like they're very clearly kids. So yeah, I think a while ago I kind of gave up on assuming that you can tell someone's age by how they look. Where was I? He died on the way to the hospital. I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later, and couldn't attend his funeral. I'm so sorry. Don't be. That's what everyone always says. They're sorry. I hate hearing that. Like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know the best piece of advice I got? These things happen. I don't even remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. I imagine it isn't because I imagine this is a bit a bit of advice she was given much earlier in life. But that does sound like something Rin would almost say to her. But it's true, you know. These things happen. There's nothing you can do about it. They aren't necessarily planned. They aren't always bad. They aren't always good. But they are. So I made the decision that I would live without worrying about the future. And to be sure that I never had to say goodbye again, I decided I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. And that is worrying about the future, Emmy. You're worrying about a future goodbye. After all, they could be taken away at any time. And you know what? She laughs, a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up with tears, and I step forward to embrace her, but she holds up a hand to stop me. Not finished. A deep breath, and she continues. It worked pretty well. Until I met you and saw that you were trying to adjust to stuff here. So I thought I'd help. And you were so nice, and I couldn't help it. The tears are flowing now, and she accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is mumbled into my chest. I tried not to fall for you, but I did. And then I tried to keep you at a distance, like with my first boyfriend. But I couldn't. I've been so scared because I don't want to lose you. But I might anyway. Hey, I'm still around, right? Maybe I won't be forever, but don't you think it'll be fun while it lasts? Neither of us could survive today. There could be a bus crash or something, but so long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think it matters. A sudden thought strikes me, and I can't help laughing. My condition had me scared of dying so badly that I immediately seized on the opportunity Emmy presented to improve my odds of living longer. But without Emmy, would there have been any motivation to keep up with my running? It hits me that Emmy is the reason I want to go running every day, so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emmy looks up at me, confused. We'll go on living until we stop. And when we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we've had time together. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I love you, Emmy. And right now, that's enough for me. Emmy smiles through her tears and steps back from me. You know, it's funny. What is? I thought that the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone. But now, I don't think I'd have it any other way either. I'm glad I met you, Hisao. Well, these things happen. Emmy and I stay by the grave for a while, as Emmy pays her respects to her father. When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. Emmy's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip back is very quiet. We wave goodbye as the car drives off, and I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. How are you feeling? Emmy shrugs noncommittally. I'll be fine. Come on, let's go. We pause outside the girl's dorm, and I turn to face Emmy, ready to say goodbye. Why don't you come up for a while? Okay. The walk up to her room is in silence. I'm not sure why I suppose I'd be turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she'd want to be alone. Her mum, the nurse, hell, everyone who knew the significance of today seemed to think it best to leave Emmy alone. But she took me into the graveyard with her. She told me this whole story of what happened on the day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emmy opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door open for me expectantly. I step in and the door swings shut behind me. Hey, can I ask you a favor? Sure. Can't guarantee I'll do it, but... Emmy giggles and pulls me into a kiss that starts out soft but deepens into something almost desperate. Stay with me. Please? Her voice has dropped to a whisper. The question is barely audible over the sound of my own breathing. There's something about the way that she asks that question, the hesitancy in it, the quiet voice that makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me. Not tonight or forever. Because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to her request. There's just a request. A favor. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course. So I was, for a moment, I was wondering, like, wait, the game's not going to give this up as a question, is it? Just give you the option to just go, nah. I've come this far, but nah. It's just I've not played many visual novels, but it feels like often like when the character does that thing where it's kind of like asks themselves the same question like twice in a row. that it feels like it's leading up to the player making that choice. Oh, okay. Glad to say it's kind of like, oh no, Hisawa's committed at this point. There's not no bagging out. We embrace again, Emmy guiding me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care until she sits down on the edge. Nope. Guess I'm not surprised there. I collapse next to Emmy, who almost immediately curls against me, smiling. For a while we lay in silence, savouring the feeling of being next to one another. Emmy is the first to speak. Hey, Hisao? Hmm? Thanks for coming with me today. I smile and plant a kiss on her head. Of course. My pleasure. Emmy snuggles closer, and I can feel her breathing begin to slacken as she begins to drift off to sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, she wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence. I love you, Hisao. Then she's out like a light, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. I draw the slumbering Emmy as close as possible, pull the covers over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep as happy as I've ever been. Is this just the next morning, or is this a longer time passing? Oh, no. The morning light seems to reach further into Emmy's room than it does into mine. This results in my waking up early. This results in my waking up earlier than I would have if I'd gone back to my room last night, as had previously been our routine. I did not realize it until this morning, but this is the first time we've actually spent the night together. A small movement from my partner's still slumbering form causes me to look to the side. Hair splayed across her face, Emmy continues to sleep peacefully curled up next to me. It's slightly weird seeing her without her trademark twin tails, but it's also a look I could get used to. The small size of the beds here necessitates her curling up, but I'm pretty sure she would have done so anyway. The covers are nearly over her head, and I smile as an errant strand of hair causes her nose to twitch slightly. Unable to help myself, I draw her a little closer, a move which she seems to think is a good idea. Her steady breath raises a trail of goosebumps on my chest, but I don't mind. I am no longer tired, but I do not feel the need to move from my current position. Emmy's warm body in repose against mine is far too comfortable to move. I gaze up at the ceiling and consider how it is that we got to this point. We've been close for a while, but not this close. It seems like only yesterday that she ran into me in the hallway and, after apologizing, decided to take an interest in my well-being. Sure, now, don't remind me, that had me stressed. But that grew into something else, which I at least was not expecting. I feel like there's a missing comma somewhere in that part. One thing is for certain. Having found Emmy, I will try as hard as I can not to lose her. My morning musing is interrupted by further movement from Emmy. Her eyes flutter open, and she seems briefly confused by my presence in her bed. Then she smiles happily and sits up, her face looking down at me. Good morning, Hisao. Hi. Sleep well? Yeah, I did. Exhausting day yesterday, you know? I think back over yesterday's trip to the graveyard. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you slept well. How did you sleep? Well enough, although you kept hogging the covers. This earns me a shove and a stuck-out tongue. I chuckle and Emmy giggles a little and we fall quiet for a while. I wanted to see, oh, the original had her new, oh. Part of me's not too surprised either. I soak up the feeling of how right it all seems. Waking up with Emmy by me, crammed into a bed made for one person. It's something I could get used to. Hey, Isao? Hmm? Thanks for sticking around. No problem. Saved me to walk back anyway, right? This draws another giggle, but then Emmy's expression turns serious again. Yeah, it makes... Yeah... No, it was especially kind of after the comment we had about, like, Emmy's breathing, like, causing goosebumps on his chest. I'm kind of like, I feel like they're... I got the feeling they weren't wearing much. No, really. I kept trying to push you away because I thought that was the right thing to do, and you stuck around through it all. I haven't made any of this easy for you, but you stuck it out anyway. So really, I mean it. Thank you. She punctuates this by giving me a kiss, pulling back and looking at me with an expression of affection. I reach up and ruffle her hair, smiling all the while. I'm stupidly lucky, I think. To have come through everything after my heart attack and to somehow have found this girl is nothing short of a miracle. You're very welcome, Emmy. I couldn't bear the thought of giving you up. I'll even continue to stick around, if you want. I'd like that. That settles it then. I don't know how long my heart will keep working, and I don't even really know what I'll do after this year's over, apart from going to university. As long as Emmy's around, I think I'll be okay. I've managed to help her, and she's managed to help me. If we keep doing that, I'll be okay, I think. So, Isao? Hmm? What do you want to do today? Well, it's another morning. Is running not on the agenda? Can you stand up? Reach Emmy's good ending. There we go. Sorry, the names of the writing team. The Hive Mind. Oh, Emmy's... Oh, the concept art. Oh, that's a... It'd be nice if they displayed it, like... in... more straightforwardly. Rather than... in a picture, in a picture. Stir fried wheat. Leaf Studios. (2015). Alright, okay. That lasted definitely not as long as I was expecting. Okay, chapter 4 is much shorter than the other chapters. It took me, what, 5 streams to get through chapter... Now go for... I don't want to. Can I not just ignore that and just move on to the next route? I don't want to see the bad ending. I don't like seeing people upset. Okay. Oh, you're not actually... See, I'm curious, but I'm also kind of like, I don't know if I want... I don't know if I want to. You're curious enough to see every girl's band? Oh. Maybe I'll go back to your streams and watch them vicariously through your streams. Oh no, it was stressful enough getting the nearly getting the bad ending. So, alrighty. You think Hanako's bad end is worse? Yeah, I can kind of imagine that like Hanako does seem like she. I don't know if volatile is quite the word for it, but like she already like seems like very like it wouldn't take much for something to really upset her, like even before a relationship. I'm going to be back in a moment. Just need to go and we're gonna see if I can get my fan working again quickly, just between the between before I start another route. Alrighty. Okay. I don't know if that's really fixed the fan, but I need it on. It is warm again. Alrighty. So I think I kind of thought that Rin was the next route I was interested in. So is it safer to just start again, or I do have an early save. Oh yeah, here in the nursery, but I don't remember if that's the first choice. So is it safer to hit start and then just like auto skip to the first choice? In the nursery, that might be the first decision. I can't tell. No, I thought I'd saved more early decisions. I think maybe it's best just to start. No. OBS, why are you not picking up things again? Oh, there we go. OBS takes so long for things to pick up. Okay. So is there a button for like auto skip? Okay, tab. Okay. That's what I was looking for. It was the button for it. I want to introduce myself to the class. Okay, so you get okay. That's what that box is. A little tick box, so you can see if I've read it. Uh, to get to Rin's choice, I feel for now I want to keep going with what I have said. I think. It will solve the decision in whatever you haven't read yet. Oh yeah, I figured I've played and going for Rin. Rin it would indeed be where I'm going. And we solved the decision. Yeah, I have played enough visual novels to know that generally that's how autoskip works. At least in in any decent visual novel, it will stop when you reach something new. So I figure asking about the library again. Part of me is waiting to see if I get a response from Mooney. Are you there, dear? Do I keep going? Should I be able to figure this out on my own? It's the third option. Okay, I think I got everything I need to know. Okay. So, if I just go text history, this was... I just... Yeah, them just offering to help guide me. I can't think of anything, really. Ooh, that means me being good guides, doesn't it? Doesn't it? If you say so. Misha positively beams, and so does Shizune after a quick translation. I shake my head at their somewhat exaggerated enthusiasm and shift my focus on the food. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice a conversation in sign is not enough to fill a silence. We arrive. So I should be safe, because I don't know how much of this. Am I safe to tab again, or like, is this how much of the like first chapter is going to change? We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. Let's skip what's new. Okay, so I'm safe too. Okay, so yeah, there is a lot of it that is the same. I can. Gee, that's no. Oh, the fan has been noisy again. Okay, this is us playing Risk. Attack aggressively? Okay. But that feels more like it would get me closer to Shizune's route. But I will trust you, my dear. She is either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, though, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. There's ways to avoid Shizune. That's fair enough. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. I win, yay! There's no need to translate that, it was pretty clear. Don't look so sad, Hichan. You're really giving it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Hichan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. It's a very daring move. Shichan is impressed. Anyway, is Iceland is Iceland a country in Risk? I didn't think it was a territory in Risk, but it may have just been that long since I've played. The mark of great people is that they are daring, not that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great, Hichan? That isn't enough, though. Just potential isn't enough. There's no point to potential if you don't take the first step. There's no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Shichan. That's so demanding. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start. Hichan, Would you like to join the student council? She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any of her clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe. I'll get back to you on it. Okay, Hitchan. I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. No, really. Really? Hitchan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that it is definitely the truth and there can't be any mistake in it. Shizune is particularly pushy about it. Yeah, that it kind of felt that way already, even in like trying to go for, well, even going for Emmy's route. I can't say I was trying to go for Emmy's route because I wasn't trying to go any route at that point. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Oh no. Shizune smiles at that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting a knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. You always do. Risk is a long game. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. Is this... Okay, yeah, this is back to this meeting. Meeting Yuko. That's part of what drew me in for forwardness to apologize to her. Okay. So same response as before. So, yeah. We'll have seen... Hi, Kenji. And who's this toy? And say she's cute? Okay. So does saying she wasn't cute, does that set you down Kenji's route? Yeah, you like your glasses, don't you? Okay. So, reading, waiting, or talking. You haven't tried that? No, I feel like it's... I don't remember many choices when it comes to Kenji. Oh, hi, Emmy. Haven't tried Kenji's route, you mean? Yeah. Oh, there's Rin. Oh, is this it? Say, oh no, you do still say yes. Because I know, like, the yes, like, definitely, like, thinking back on it, this would definitely set you on the route for, like, putting that investment in your health to, like, spend that time with Emmy. Alrighty. Hello, Kenji, again. Okay. So this is when... This is... Yeah, don't drag me into it. Okay. Why am I being dragged into this again? I've done more than enough, I think. Yeah, this is Lily's looking for Hanako and Misha and Shizune, like, ambush her about forms she hasn't handed in or something. If you're angry with Lily, that has nothing to do with me. Now wait just a second. Are you implying the president is more right in scolding me than yourself? Ah, damn. I think I could have worded that better. No, I don't know about that, but I mean... Oh, boy. What are you saying, Hitchan? It's just that I think it's hard. I hardly think it's fair you can say that, seeing that I've helped you guys. The mood has changed. This is like a showdown between two gunfighters now. Well, it was like that before too, but this time Shizune's focus is on me. And so is Lily's, though she keeps quiet. I am afraid I inadvertently pissed her off. Oh, wait. Are you saying I'm wrong? What a dangerous situation. It's too early to argue with you. Yes, I think it's unfair of you to get on my case. Hichan, you want too much. But you have a point. Okay. You're not lazy, Hichan. Shizune pushes her glasses up over her thumb, almost approvingly. That's good. If you're not useless, you shouldn't let anyone say you are. But the next time I say it, it'll really be because you're disappointed in me, like Miss Class Rep here. So don't let this go to your head. Lily takes the jab silently, a venomous visage frozen on her face. Class Rep? Chit-chan says, don't forget that report, please. I won't. Would that be all? Yep. Then good day to you all. Her voice would cut the air of the classroom into half if it was more tangible. Lily leaves the room, understandably in a bad mood, but still managing to be as poised and calm as usual. Shizune, you really did go a little too far today. It's true, Shichan. Just a little. If I had been expecting Shizune to grudgingly admit I have a point there as well, I think I was expecting too much. She doesn't respond. Shichan thinks you should mind your own business. Hichan, we have a few last-minute things to take care of before class. We might be late, so can you please cover for us? Yeah. Perfect. Yay, okay. Thanks, Hichan. They walk outside, even though there are only 10 minutes left before the bell will ring, signaling the start of class. Oh. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. This is felt for her. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. We've been covering the same amount of pages each day, so reading ahead is more or less giving myself a preview of what tomorrow's lesson will be about. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. Oh, hello, Misha. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, not noticing Misha's head poking over my shoulder until she is almost on top of me. What are you doing? I try to strike a balance between being quiet enough to not draw attention to myself, but loud enough to draw hers. What are you doing, Hichan? Panic shoots through me as Misha starts talking at her normal volume, and I sputter out a hasty reply, still keeping my voice down despite the fact that she just blew any hope of being discreet I may have had. I'm copying down that stuff. What are you doing? Why so loud? Aww, really? It's all in the book. That's why no one else is copying it down. I know. Why are you so loud? Why are you so quiet, Hichan? It's hard to hear you. I look around to see if anyone is noticing our conversation, and it's pretty obvious that everyone has. Even the teacher. Shizune smiles coyly, and I start to wonder if Misha is doing this because she told her to. Is it because of what happened between her and Lily earlier? This is what I get for trying to be reasonable, for trying to take the middle path. Shizune is way too prideful, although by now I should know to expect that kind of behavior from her. Why are you doing this? Huh? Misha's totally oblivious to the awkward stare the teacher's giving both of us, while trying to balance her textbook on one finger. For a brief second it looks as if things could get ugly, but the teacher simply looks away, as if it's not worth the trouble. I guess this is a good thing, and I slump back in my seat in relief. The rest of the day passes by uneventfully, and this time I'm able to appreciate that it does. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. Excuse me? I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Probably way over my head. Not just that, but Shizune also seems angry, although it could just be her normal severity making it appear so. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Oh, this is all still new. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people at this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune starts signing at me, and Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. Well, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. Sarcasm? Huh? The tone of Shizune's actions make me think she is speaking with disdain, but Misha interprets it normally, replacing whatever intent may have been there with her own chipper twist on things. It's still disorienting. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Never mind. How could I forget with you two trying to get me to join at least twice a day? But Hitcha. Excuse me? But Hitchan, some could say the work is too much. It'd be nice if students were to show a little more support for their leadership. Some appreciation to the ones who are working so hard to make it all possible. Maybe, for example, a little help. That's asking too much, is it? Yep, help would be appreciated from students like you. If students would show their dedication and school spirit and offer some help, well, I don't exactly need it, but I wouldn't necessarily refuse it, so it would be nice if someone would. Oh, hello? Oh, that wasn't a question mark. Oh, it's Hanako. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Oh. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away. To the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. They seem to have momentarily forgotten about trying to get me to stay for the rest of the day. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, Sato is not here. She came by in the morning though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her for her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidated enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little funny, though, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Where's all this yawning come from all of a sudden? Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in our classroom, working on their festival project. Who knows where that woman is loitering at? She might be slacking off somewhere, just like Hitchan. Damn, what is it with Shizune and her need to point out stuff like this? Hanako nods quickly, and leaves, I imagine. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were working really hard to make the festival happen. And driving other people insane along the way. Well, good luck with that. I stand up to leave, making my exit before either manages to berate me anymore for slacking off. The halls are somewhat quiet, as expected. Everyone must be in club meetings or at festival preparations. Or both. That felt a little... Yeah, that felt different. I can't, like, it's one of those... That conversation felt like with that mixture of familiarity and, like, unfamiliarity. Like, something had changed, but I feel like the general gist of it was pretty similar. Shizune's words about being a slacker echo in my head. I feel a bit guilty about not contributing, but I seem to lack the resolve to do something concrete about the matter. For the festival, it's too late already. Unless I count helping Shizune and Misha, which I naturally don't. In clubs, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a club type of person. Okay, this is... Okay, we're back to stuff we've seen before. Another morning run. Okay. I am going to imagine take it easy is the right response here. Yeah, take it easy. Okay. I thought so. I let Emmy go with her own pace, and she doesn't show mercy, pulling half a lap ahead of me in an instant. I don't blame her. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to be a big choice for getting on Emmy's route. I mean, it's not as if I'm really putting up any sort of real fight out here, is it? Instead, I'm just running at a steady pace, which is what I should be doing, right? There's no need to go pushing my limits at this stage of the game. God, is this even worth it? As we finish the second lap, I break off again. Emmy keeps going, and it almost seems to me that she's disappointed. Well, that's stupid. I don't have anything to prove to her. Come to think of it, I've got nothing to prove to myself either. This is the one thing, though, I find about games like this with multiple routes. Is... Blah. Like, Emmy's still there. Emmy still has her problems, and it's kind... I don't know. And it almost feels like you ignore being like a friend and helping out other characters. Oh, but I suppose that would really bloat out the story if you spent time with everyone. I'm just fine the way I am. Did notice Emmy's route is the one where he sounds more physically fit. Okay. Yeah, well, that doesn't really surprise me, to be fair. And what I'm not is a runner. This was probably a bad idea. Maybe there's something else I can do instead of this. Getting up this early sucks anyway. There's got to be some other way to keep healthy. Walking, maybe. Nice afternoon walks. Yeah, that sounds good. Running isn't for me. I wave to Emmy and head back to my room. I'll think of something else later. That's why I like Mystic Messenger no matter what route. So that would be a nice thing. No, because it's like, especially after like seeing one character's route and like getting to know Emmy and just liking her as a character, and now it's kind of a nah. I don't have anything to prove to her. We don't need to be friends. Back in my room, the first thing I see is the familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser. And it makes me depressed, as usual. It's annoying. I thought it was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing, gotten over it. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before, for months. It seems like it's time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. That is how I'll rationalize it. I downed a usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class early, as usual. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner, stealthily making his way to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me soundlessly, like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey! Are we friendly over there? Definitely. Oh, that would be a nice thing. Because yeah, I've not played many visual novels. No, particularly ones with like proper, like where it's really like dating, like romance themed ones. Like I think the closest I got is Doki Doki Literature Club. And yeah, it's kind of, you don't really choose routes in Doki Doki Literature in the Literature Club, I don't think. I think it kind of like pushes you onto routes because it's all, you know, Monica. And kind of the fact that there aren't routes, that it's all kind of part of one continuous narrative, prevents it from having that problem. Yeah, I'm getting sidetracked again. He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh, hey man, I didn't notice you there. I'm really tired. I think it's more like he didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So then, what's in the bag? I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue to fight against a vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. I thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. Sorry. I'm just sorry, that just reminds me of I can't remember where I saw it in. I think it was like a parody dub or something. But it was like characters like talking about their like character development. It's like, I have had character development. I wear a hat now. I'm trying to remember what it's from. Just the I'm wearing a hat now. Just reminded me of a hat does not substitute for character development. I decide to not point out that he is not wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Oh. I just wanted to know when the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know so I know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it. And why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home? Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. Phones? I have no phone. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone? Wait, was that... Hold up, is that more of a... Okay, that almost felt like it was a back and forth, like the series of answers, series of questions kind of thing. The government can hear me from... I'm not surprised. I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's just like some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it. Beaten in the head? Well, where else could I get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass? Unexpectedly logical? I feel very depressed now. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm going to sleep. Going to sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is going to start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally brought two because I thought the store started selling individual AA batteries. Thanks, but no thanks. Whatever, man. He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to class. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces now, though the names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of school. Oh, hello, Emmy. Peace out. I'm going to make you a one-time only, super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunchboxes, and the privilege of enjoying them in private with two bombshell beauties. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose as though it was an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing out her chest and making the V for victory sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. What do I owe the honor of being invited? Well, it sounds convenient. You don't think there's much value to buying into it? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much anything you need a AA for, you need two of, I notice. So yeah, buying like one individual like doesn't feel like too much like there's too much value there. Good to see at least that Emmy isn't too off-put by us not being competitive this time around. You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company. That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. So how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer. With pleasure. Let's go to the roof. The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. If I don't get up there, then she'll probably wander off, and then I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs lunch for herself. Who will? Come with me. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. Hello. James, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she? Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for free. Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town centre, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. Okay. We're back to familiar. Nope. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. Okay, so what happened just before that? Okay, we just got our books. And now we're doing some shopping. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. Oh. Wasn't expecting to see Lily. After passing through and rounding the corner though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill toward the small town below. The colour of her hair and tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does. Isao? Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What brings you here? Once again, she gives a small, polite bow, and once again I reply in kind before realizing that I needn't do so. I'm just going into town. You? My, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. Ah, not lost, but worried. The two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. With the road bereft of cars and the students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling of leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. The quiet countryside is nice. When it's not hay fever season. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement, to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess. Yamaku's kind of different, though. I mean, the formalities surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it, though, in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking on down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. Excuse me? So, where in town were you going? That's actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I had intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but with sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that doesn't seem very wise. I'm going to have to ask her for directions. Again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way. Well now, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again, then. Thanks. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here... It takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she's had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grab two well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking it back up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this alright? Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it is out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store, with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we've both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment, I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer's heat doesn't seem to... Yeah, it wouldn't! Just because it gets dark doesn't mean it gets that much colder. I wish it did. That would make life much easier right now. Oh, did I skip something? Eventually she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my two. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinctive figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. Oh, hey Rin. Rin, what are you doing out here so late? Rin? Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated looking expression. Something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Oh, ah, I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin, too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very furry. Rin is too out there for Lily, yeah. Oh. Hello. There's an awkward pause. Pause? Where pause? Where did I get that from? There's an awkward pause. Everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? I was wondering about that myself too, just now. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. So that was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. Oh boy. Rin, that is concerning. They were going that way. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction that other people went to, as if that was important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think that both of us are, in fact, just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if bull elephant grade sedatives were floating in her veins in place of blood. Oh, just permanently drugged up. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though. Oh, I wonder, is Lily like referring to like actual amnesia? Because if I know what people often call amnesia, if I remember correctly, isn't actually amnesia. It's just memory. It's just called memory loss. The thing is that amnesia technically is more to do with a struggle in forming new memories. And Rin says the funniest things at times. Yeah, Rin does seem like one of the more like interesting personalities in the school. No, I don't think it's that. The other passers-by were probably just worried, though. You do look really lost, in the way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case. I wonder for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I'd decide on the latter. It seems that most of the time it's better to not read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. And even if I win, it feels like losing. Yeah, it's just like Kenji said. Even when I win, I lose. Is this the power of the girls of Yamaku? I push the thought aside as too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So, anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. Can't really tell what kind of an idea. That sounds like progress, at least. Lily sounds as if she's spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there's some, definitely. The rest will come later. Oh, hey, Kendi! Welcome to the stream. I stream. Well, it might be early for you because Mooney had mentioned she was starting Rin next as well. But yeah, I stream early because I live in the UK, so it's actually 20 to 9 in the evening right now for me. So there's an 8-hour time difference between me and Mooney here. But you're very welcome. So I think Mooney's lurking as well. She often can't chat much because she's at work. Yep, I've got the good old British time zone going on. So when I do the Final Fantasy streams with Mooney, I have to wake up like 4 AM to be there on time. But it's all worth it. Listening to your lovely voice. Always listening, Wazowski. I don't know why that popped into my head. Oh, where were we? I'm sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensuing silence killed Zillie's hopes all too visibly. That didn't last long. Rin's, as far as I can tell, unbased assurances aside, what should be done? We could just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are. But it's late, and I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily is oddly quiet too. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. I think it's because she's more familiar with Rin than you are that she's not interacting. Oh, there we go. But it can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So, I assume you were going somewhere, not coming back to the school. Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock and she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique. No. What? Why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. It was just an educated guess. We walked this same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. It's also interesting, like I feel like that feels like the first time we've probably seen Rin get like an exclamation point in her dialogue. Maybe it's something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. You know, that is the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come back with us to the school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decide to let the mind-reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Rin considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. Except, though I'm at... Is this gonna be a... Maybe I felt like a hint of autism, calling about her rehearsed. Possibly? It's kind of hard to tell. So, like, autism's a spectrum, so it's... I know, like, the way I experience it isn't what other people experience it like, and there's no... It's such a wide spectrum. And I'm not clued in enough about it to be able to, like, notice specific traits. And I'm not familiar enough as well with other kind of, like, learning disabilities. You can figure out what's going on here by Root's End, you'll be impressed. Well, prepare to be not impressed. My brain does not tend to impress people. We start towards the skull again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. I think she might be on the milder end of the spectrum, but not 100% sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of wondering, like, if that is the case, I feel it's probably a more... I don't like using the term severe, but I can't think of another word for it. But, like, than my own autism, that or Rin's personality just is that she cares less about it. Because she doesn't seem to put too much effort into trying to, like, mask, if that's the case. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk in her arrhythmic way, looking like a mix of sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. A quiet quite apart from the relaxing one into town at that. So, how's the mural going? We are going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamagu rests on top of is surprisingly steep going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and breathing getting heavier. Well, if you've got a bag of shopping in both hands, yeah. That's, especially going uphill. Because, yeah, that's, I've mentioned it before, one of the exercises I'm doing at the gym is a farmer's walk, which is just walk slowly with a dumbbell in each hand. And, like, it starts off easy, but, like, my goal is just to go for, like, 100 seconds. Like, that's not even 2 minutes of just slowly walking, and my arms are absolutely dead by the end of it. Like, sometimes I can't even make it to 100 seconds. I have to put the weights down, because my arms have gotten that tensed up that I can't clench my fingers anymore. So doing that uphill and you've just been carrying them for this long, especially if you have been hospitalized for months beforehand. Almost there. I can see the gates already. More than that though, I noticed that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder. Interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something, I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway. Is everything alright? Alright? How do you mean? The fact I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just... you seem unusually tired, I guess. Oh, of course. Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Lily noticed it all too quickly. Okay. is this a choice between... Does this influence going, like, leaning towards Lily or Rin? I'm guessing. Not a good okay. Okay, so you admit it. No, so far this extra interaction with Lily kind of has me feeling that Lily might be the next route after Rin. Which I imagine then interacting with Lily probably means you'll interact with Hanako some more on the side. Which might lead to... So that's looking like it might be the... You've avoided the prior route flags? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm guessing at least one of them was in the classroom. When she was arguing with Suzune. But yeah, I don't think you can get off Rin's path at this point. Oh, am I locked in? But yeah, I'm feeling that this is kind of like setting up how I'm going to go through the routes. Because I imagine the main reason I'm kind of not giving Hanako too much consideration at the moment is you've hardly interacted with her at all. I don't know anything about her to like have that interest ignited, other than she's really shy and she has her burns. Shizune kind of, I think, like you, Mooney, I think I like Shizune's forwardness, but I think for me, Shizune takes it a little too far, like into the annoying territory. Well, she clearly wants to be left alone. No, but yeah, this extra interaction has gotten me more interested in seeing Lily's path. And again, I think that interacting with Lily, I imagine there's probably more interactions with Hanako by kind of association with Lily. Says the guy with socialites. Shush. Don't. I'm not that bad. Ignore me having a panic attack on the bus. Oh, but yeah. So I figure after Lily it'll be Hanako, and then it'll be Shizune. Because at that point she's the last one left. So is that going in like nearly reverse order to you, Mooney? Because I know you said Shizune was the first one you went for, and like you're only doing Emi and Rin last. I don't know, I should get back to it. I've been babbling for a while now. It's alright. I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh. Is it something that is related to you being transferred here? I mean... She cuts herself off rather abruptly, maybe realizing she was being a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't think I mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you looked fairly healthy, so I naturally thought... Oh, Hanako mentioned this. Lily doesn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. Oh, did she assume we were one of just the healthy students? As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to say at least something to ease her feelings. I'm not trying to tease, just point out that Hanako might have some social anxiety. Are you calling me out on like the fact that I do enjoy being with people, but have social anxiety? Because, okay, yeah, I suppose I should consider that. Remember, you did no attempt in trying to get to know her. After, like, the initial, like, few instances, the game doesn't give you very many opportunities once you're locked into a route. Just because you're afraid doesn't mean you don't. Oh, I get it. I get it. No. I said, like Hanako is on the plan. Seeing her route is on the plan. I can't do them all at once. This doesn't feel like the kind of game that gives you a harem ending. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her own comfort about such things. No, it's okay. I have a pretty... I guess the best way to put it would be messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I had a bad heart attack a while ago because of it and spent most of the spring in a hospital. Ended in Yamaku on doctor's orders. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react, given we don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I have the exact same reaction. While I do want to assuage her concern, I really don't want to dwell on this either. But don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile, but then I realize the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuringly, but doesn't say anything further. Your progression was the opposite of what you're planning to do? She's going to Lily Hanako Emi. Yeah, so there's only like a couple of differences there, and I think it's mostly just because I did Emmy first. So Emmy and Rin are swapped around, so Lily and Hanako are swapped around. But yeah. The one you do first is the one I'm going to do last. That's close enough to opposite, right? Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of her mural as if lightning struck her. Oh, did she go out to buy paint? She had been so quiet for almost all of the walk back that I had all but forgotten she was here. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday, the 8th of June. So we do have established dates. Can we not have like a date thing in the corner of the screen so I can keep track of how much time is passing? I would like that. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to go into a fetal position and throw up. Possibly in reverse order. Is something wrong? It sounds like something's wrong. No, nothing's wrong. It's Friday and nothing is wrong yet. This mural, it's going to need to be finished by Sunday, so everything's alright. No, because this isn't Mystic Messenger or Hatful Boyfriend. I like having a date, like seeing how time is passing. Do you have any drugs? Or a time machine? This is not good. Not good. So she's behind her schedule. Recalling Shizune's exploration at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She has left herself open for a told you so, unless she can pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking as mortified as she can. Leave me. I'm going to need to work for a while. I glance at Lily. I'm expecting her to share an incredulous look with me as I roll my eyes, but then I realize she's not one to do that kind of thing. Leave me. We do, of course. Not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There's a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rin sure has a knack of making people feel worried about her. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone? She sounded like she was going into shock or something. I'm sure she'll be just fine. She's just, uh, how to say... Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, a very unique person. I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion melodiously, nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I keep my distance. So I guess was right. Lily offers a slight apologetic smile, as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings have prevented her from becoming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her, at all. Lily lets slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. Speaking of yawns, I imagine she's as exhausted by all this as I am. I'd better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Hisao. She smiles very sweetly at me. It feels different to normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I'd say, but that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin. Maybe. Yeah. Good night. Say hi to Hanako for me. I will. Good night. The next day... The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through... Is this... Okay, so this is... Oh, that didn't last long. Muto stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he is trying to say. Not knowing what is going on, I wait silently. So, tell me, how are things? Things? I expected Muto to be a little vague, but this is pushing the limits. You know, things. You've had a week to settle in now, so how are things? Fine, I guess. I see. And how is your condition? The pause before condition seemed a little unnecessary. I haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passes across Muto's face. Good, that's good. The school nurse was a little concerned that you might have been pushing yourself a bit too hard. He asked me to keep an eye on you when he couldn't. That makes sense. I'd ask that you don't blow us off so freely. As much as we try to give you the level of education that you would get at a normal school, you have to realize that you have limits. Our goal is to make sure that you know where those limits are and how to maximize your potential within them. Do you follow me? I guess. I mean, I don't plan on doing anything stupid. Well, that's the start, I guess. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I was back. Oh yeah, helping Rin with the mural. Emmy heaves a sigh. This is... Oh, is this about the blue? This is like the Prussian... Yeah, the Prussian blue. I guess I have to go back and get some. I promised to help with our class project though, so I'll be back a bit later. Can you manage without it for a few hours? Rin nods, and so Emmy leaves. Okay, so we don't go with Emmy to fetch it this time. I stay because I like watching Rin paint, and because I have nothing better to do. I sit on a box and pick up today's book from my bag. It's a story about three guys drinking beer for 2 weeks straight and doing little... This doesn't sound like a book I'd be bothered about reading. Rin moves from the spot that was in need of the blue and starts slowly working on another. Her foot works the brush steadily against the plastered wall. Layers of paint on top of layers of paint. Why are we getting to tense music? The mural slowly gains more form. I turn the pages at a leisurely pace. In this chapter, they are drinking beer at the protagonist's friend's place. In the previous ones, it was the protagonist's own apartment. It's not a page-turner kind of book, a slice of someone's imaginary life that makes me wonder why it had to be written. Why indeed? The reason for doing something creative. It's something incomprehensible. Like why Rin does paintings. It feels like she and Emmy are the same, going squarely against their fates as if it's just out of spite. Rin even said something like that. Do something you can't just because you can. Is that what she meant? Is that her reason? It might be Emmy's. She comes off as quite a headstrong person. Rin doesn't give off that kind of an air. Thinking about it, she doesn't give off any kind of air. Or maybe a different kind every time I talk with her? Why did she say what she said? Why does she, or anyone at all, paint, or draw, or sculpt, or write? I've never had much of a creative impulse, so I don't think I can really understand it. It makes me feel hollow inside. What a grim thought. I can't decide whether it's true or not either. Am I content being this way? I can't deny I'm feeling a little bit envious of Rin, but I can't really consider it a flaw of any kind. I'm myself and she is herself. Still, I need to find something. Something that could make me feel a little less lost about myself, instead of just drowning myself in these books as I did in the hospital. I can't help but feel disoriented. The new school, lifestyle, and people around me contribute heavily to this sensation. I'm trying my best to fit into existing social circles, and most of the people I've met have been really nice. It still feels like I'm an outsider though, like I don't belong. I shake the feeling off, realizing that I'm spacing out. I've neither turned a page of the book nor done anything for Rin. She is trying to pour some paint from a big can using only her feet, having not bothered to ask me. Or maybe she did and I didn't hear it. Either way, it looks very unstable. I quickly jump to help her, as it looks like she's about to spill the entire contents of the can all over the pavement. I take the can from her feet and pour some into the bowl. She doesn't say anything, and neither do I. I catch a glimpse of her eyes, looking silent at me from under her unkempt bangs. It's an unreadable expression, a perfect poker face, mixed with a hint of something like a mild surprise. I wonder what she is thinking. Maybe she is wondering about what I'm thinking. Maybe nothing. A penny for your thoughts? Do you have any pennies with you? Sorry. Whenever my brain, like, quite often now, when I hear the penny for your thoughts thing, it's kind of like, I'll give you a penny for your thoughts and a shilling to keep them to yourself. Wait, did I miss Rin's? Oh no, that was just about, do I have any pennies on me? I don't think I do. And I don't think I will tell. I'm not thinking anything either, so you're in luck. Except now I just did. She frowns, looking very unsatisfied. It's hard not to think about anything, but it's important. I'm about to ask why it's important when some old guy walks up to us, looking like he has some business with Rin. Oh, hello, you're new. Good afternoon, how's it going? I can make it. Rin doesn't take her eyes off the wall and responds so naturally that I can only assume they know each other. I haven't seen the man before, so I naturally wonder who he might be. Maybe a teacher? His hair is faded to a silvery grey, so much so that it looks artificially dyed. I hope that's not the case. Small, round glasses hang on the bridge of his nose, but it appears he's constantly looking over the lenses rather than through them. He's studying the mural intently over said glasses. Oh, good. What bold composition you have here. He moves to inspect the mural closer, talking to himself about it in a way that makes it obvious he wants us to hear it too. Very good indeed. I don't really know what to make of it, but Rin doesn't seem to care much. She's looking around her working space, the various bowls of different tones scattered all over. He's, a little more of this. Give me a second. I pour a 50-50 mix of two paints into the bowl to create more of the same pale pink tone Rin was using to fill up the shape of a man's face. Rin watches me doing so, which makes me feel nervous somehow. Her face is so unassuming that it feels like she's just waiting for me to do something wrong. The man turns to Reg and me as well, looking surprised as if he'd noticed my presence only just now. Maybe he did. Why, hello there! Who might you be? I'm a transfer student class 3-3. Hisao Nakai. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Muto's class, eh? Well, I won't hold that against you. He laughs very loudly. Obnoxiously loudly. A few small birds take flight from a nearby tree. I'm Shinichi Nomiya, the art teacher. So this is the art teacher. In retrospect, should have guessed that much. Even looks like one as far as first impressions go. How did you come to end up assisting my protege? I wish I knew. I'm gonna guess saying I'm interested in the art club? Or... But it's... I suppose as well, that makes it sound almost like I'm kind of... Oh, I'm hanging around with Rin just because I'm interested in the art club, not for Rin herself, but... It's pretty obvious. Is it... Like, when I first saw the options, I thought it was obvious. But then I was like... I thought I had another think about it, and I'm like, maybe... interested in the art club is the right... Okay, because it's not obvious for you, no. Yeah, at first glance, I thought, oh, the art club, that's obviously the right one. And then I'm like... But that maybe makes it kind of seem like, oh, I'm just, like, you... It's not about Rin herself. But then I'm saying, like, yeah, just being stuck with her doesn't sound, like, particularly invested either. Yeah, it does sound reluctant. I guess I'm a little interested in the art club. I blurted out, partially inadvertently. What do you mean? Nothing specific. I wonder if I could come by sometime, even if it's just to observe or something. I've been thinking that I should join some club or something, so you'd get to his house at... Candy, I don't do good at getting in other people's heads. I struggle enough being in my own head. Oh. It's in no way a premeditated move, but a vague sense of determination has really been building inside of me for this past week. I want to do something. I want to belong somewhere. It might as well be the art club, my shortcomings notwithstanding. The teacher seems pleased. Oh, you want to join? Well, we always welcome new people, of course. Club meetings are normal enough. We study various aspects of the fine arts and try our hands at them as well. Or feet. He gives an embarrassed cough, but Rin doesn't seem to mind. I take a small amount of comfort from the fact that I'm not the only one with vocabulary difficulties in this school. Nomiya rebounds from his faux pas by theatrically checking the time from his huge, gleaming pocket watch. Oh, he's a guy with a pocket watch? Okay, that scores some brownie points. I like a pocket watch. And slaps his forehead even more theatrically. I really must take my leave now, but if you have questions, I'm sure Tezuka can clarify. Somehow, mentioning clarify and Rin in the same sentence doesn't feel right. However, I don't say as much to the teacher, since he seems to be in a hurry. Tezuka, I'm pleased to see that this little project is going so well. I just stopped by to remind you not to run off by yourself tomorrow. I have invited certain people to the festival for you, and I'm sure they'd like to meet you as well. I hope I'll see you on Monday then, Nakai. The teacher leaves, and we are left by ourselves again. Rin is still painting as if nothing notable happened. Since nothing in fact did, I am left wondering what on earth is wrong with me. Walked into a bad ending? Oh no. I guess I've screwed this one up, haven't I? Art and I haven't worked well together in the past. At least judging from the grades I used to have in middle school. I feel you there, Hisao. Art was never my strong suit. It was something I wanted to be good at, but I don't know, my hands just don't cooperate with my brain. Maybe a club will be different than an obligatory class. Who knows? I tried to come up with something meaningful to ask about it, but to no avail. I'll just go to a club meeting and see how it goes. So, he invited some people tomorrow just to check out your painting? He has a lot of art people friends. They like to talk about art. I think he wants me to talk about art with them. Somehow I get the feeling you aren't too thrilled about it. Rin shrugs noncommittally, but it still gives an impression of her general displeasure at the idea of having to discuss her painting, or any painting, with other people. I don't really like talking about art. It's already a way to talk without talking, so why bother talking about it? I can understand that. It's like being bored and talking about being bored because you are bored. I'm not following you. Have you ever talked about being bored? It's pointless and not very exciting. All you can really say about it is, I'm so bored. I once spent a week trying to think of something meaningful to say about boredness. It was the most boring week I've ever had. But that's pretty fitting, don't you think? Rin gives me a look. The laconic kind of looks like it doesn't mean anything, but it does. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I just rarely can come up with anything to say about art. I mean, like this one you're doing now. I have no idea what to think about it except that it looks nice. What is this painting about? It's not about anything at all. That's what I'd like to say, so I did. But that was a small lie. I said it anyway because I would kind of like it to be true. The teacher wanted me to do this, but I didn't have any ideas. I tried to have some, but nothing happened. So now, this is a painting without any ideas. But what are you painting then? No idea. Come to think of it, I think I'll call this No Idea. It just reminds me of the, sorry, I'm getting, here we go on another tangent. But I saw like a Reddit post of something. It was an author of a book who, like, his book was popular enough that I don't know if it was like, I think it was like just locally, but some schools' English literature classes started using his book like in their like literary analysis studies, and he got to like see like some of what they were saying about his book, and like kind of like all the things that kind of say, oh, when the author writes this and says this, he's really trying to convey the complex emotions in the protagonist's soul. And the author's just kind of like, no, I just, like, the curtains are blue because I thought that would be neat. And just the idea that critics can often, like, not even critics, but you can so easily like read something in to like every decision when it comes to art, whatever form of art it is. Like whether it's film or painting or music, you can read so much into something. And when really, you know, humans can have simple thoughts. Sometimes it is just as simple as, I thought it looked nice. Now I started thinking again. This is bad. There we go. Yep, I started thinking. I should just focus on reading, shouldn't I, Rin? Oh, shaking. She shakes her head vigorously for a while, trying to shake thinking out of her head. That amber red hair flies wildly around. In high school, your English teacher had you read part Twilight? It's very uninteresting, but right in this one. Oh yeah, That's actually how Mooney and I met initially, was through writing. So, and yeah, I don't know if I've ever done any good fan fiction writing, but I have written fan fictions, and I've written like original fictions as well. I'd love to get back to it. But my ADHD at the moment is just, I am like really struggling with sitting down and focusing on anything. Unique Atom's hopes. I was leaning towards that one, but my brain just like threw up that hesitation. Well, to be fair, that idea of dialogue, like, that's something to keep in mind for any. That's something I should maybe use as an example. I wonder if I should clip that and use it as an example for like anyone who tries to ask me why I feel so like unsure in social situations. It's because that's where my brain goes to. It's like when I'm considering different responses, like when someone says something, I'm kind of like, when they say this, do they actually mean this? I'm so scared of like misinterpreting what someone's saying that I spend too much time reading into it sometimes. So, yeah. We never read any. I don't remember us reading anything modern in my English literature classes. We always got like Shakespeare and like the classics, like of Mice and Men. We never really got anything contemporary too much. Oh no. My Hero Academia is not one that I've ever gotten into, unfortunately. So I'm kind of not really too big into like action-y anime as I used to be. Oh, yeah. To be fair, I haven't been watching many anime in general. Other than Mooney has recently introduced me to Fruits Basket, which I'm very much enjoying. Yeah, I have completely sidetracked again. Katawa Shoujo was everyone's callous. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was. I had a similar, not from the overall visual novel, but Hisao's little thought train, like when he was reading and like thinking about creativity, that had me kind of going that, oh well, he does a lot of reading, maybe writing could be a creative outlet for him. And then I was thinking in my own head, like, writing's fun. I wish I could get back to writing. I'm just so bad at sitting down and just focusing on one thing at the moment. I should get back to the actual visual novel. This is why I had Emmy help me. She makes it easy to not think about anything. Oh, right. Don't worry, Mooney. I know full well what it's like. You know how she just talks about nothing for hours? It's like her head is made of bubblegum foam bath jelly. You are kind of the same, but not really. It's very helpful if you stay here. I am not sure if that's a compliment or not. It's probably neither, with Rin being the overtly neutral person she is. So, is there anything specific you'd like me to do to make you not think? Just be. Oh, is it like body doubling? Is something similar to that Rin needs us to do, just to be present? I wonder if that's something we can ever do someday, Moody. Is if we want to do writing, if we can just like sit in a room together on computers, and we'll just be in the same room with the agreement that, okay, we're going to do some writing now. I wonder if that would ever motivate. Just body doubling for each other. So, without knowing what... So I feel sometimes I need to pause a little before I go from my own thoughts back into the story. Alrighty. That might actually work. Yeah, I'll have to give that a try someday. So, without knowing what I should do, I just sit on an empty box to watch her continue with the painting, idly leafing the pages of the beer drinking book. Rin has a serene expression on her face, her dark green eyes hiding what she might think behind them. No, wait, she's supposedly not thinking anything, right? She quietly hums to a tune, interrupting every now and then with polite requests for more paint or another kind of brush. Her concentration is admirable, even though she seems to be sleep-deprived and under pressure to finish the job. Inch by inch, the painting gains more form, details being added on top of details, colours entwining with each other, filling the empty spaces, growing on top of each other. I find myself thinking about inspiration and motivation to create art again. Where does one get ideas? They don't come out of nowhere and... Excuse me? And I don't think there are muses that magically inject some inspiration in your head. You get ideas from existing art, mostly, I find. Well, like, a lot of my ideas kind of... I can trace them back to other, like, TV shows I've watched, or books I've read, or just stories I've heard. And there's kind of, like, bits and pieces of them that spark that inspiration. Oh. Who was it that said, like, art is theft? That kind of like all art is derivative? Something like that? Ideas have an origin and a purpose. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that Rin is lying about her mural. Or at least twisting the truth. Maybe she doesn't even realize it herself. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that you did, but like, wasn't there actually like some like philosopher or something who made that point as well? Because yeah, it's definitely one of the things like I've not heard just once. I've heard it a few times. You read it in a book called Steal Like an Artist. There you go. Oh. Alrighty. You can't do anything creative without having an idea of what you're going to create. That would go against the definition. Every stroke must be decided to be drawn. Even if it's made at random, then that too is a conscious decision. So her painting, even this one, must be based on having some deliberate goal or idea of what to paint. If Ren's idea is to have no idea, as she said, does that count as having an idea? If you try to be unique, you'll never accomplish it, but if you don't try, you'll wind up being unique 9 times out of 10, unless you've ever C.S. Lewis. Yeah, it's just... I suppose it's all thing. Like, you find... That's right, I'm watching through the Monogatari series at the moment, the anime. And there's one of the discussions they have in it, where it's one of the characters recounting like a discussion their college friends had, and they're talking about like a thought experiment where, suppose you have a painting, like a famous painting, like the Mona Lisa, and you have a fake Mona Lisa. Now, the fake is so well made that it is, like, indistinguishable from the original. But you know it's fake. That's the only difference. The only difference is that you know this one's fake and you know this one's real. And then the question posed is, which one is more valuable? And you had the character who was speaking kind of say, like, her thought is that the original is more valuable because, you know, that's the real thing, that's the original. Another guy is like, well, they're the same, other than one's original, one's a fake. They both have the same value. They're the same thing, just the origin's different. And then there's the third guy who comes in with the idea that the fake is more valuable because in the original didn't need the same effort to be original. But the fake, in order to try and be as high... This is more about quality than originality. I'm getting really off track. But I might as well finish the story now. But that in the fake's, like, attempt, like, how hard, how much work was put into the fake to make it to the same quality as the original, to make it so, like, all that effort, all that thought, that, as he puts it, the what word did he use? Or like that genuine desire to be real makes it more real than the real thing. But yeah, that was completely irrelevant to the story, so I'll get back to this now. Oh, I've just been binging the Monogatari series for the last while, so maybe my brain wanted to talk about it a little bit. A logical paradox? That seems to be Rin's modus operandi for most normal interactions, so it wouldn't surprise me if she hadn't even noticed this herself. I wonder if I should bring it up, but I'm not sure if I want to engage in an argument about logic with this girl. One of us would probably end up short-circuiting fairly quickly, so I discard the thought. Excuse me? Rin is squirming and shuffling restlessly. Even her usual blank visage breaks occasionally into pretty difficult-looking expressions. The kind that one doesn't just come up with accidentally. Everything alright? Yes, no, my back started hurting again. This painting is too big after all, and it's hard to paint in this position. Want to take a break? After I finish this part. Of course, she doesn't take a break, and I don't bring it up again because that would be completely and utterly pointless. Rin continues her work, and I stay with her. I like to watch her paint, and I'm going to be a member of the same club she's in now. Already decided you're going to be a member of the club, Hisao? Just earlier you were thinking you were just going to, like, observe a session. Oh no. When she declares the mural to be finished, it's already so dark that I have no idea how she can tell. There's no celebration, no general sense of a job well done, just a tired and laconic, I'm done. And then we both go to sleep. Okay. I'm looking at the time. I might finish here, just because I like finishing at the start of a new day. And I don't know, I feel kind of, I don't have time to, like, go on and do another day. So let's put down a new save state. So that is July 9th, 21. Okay, that is, I did save it right. Okay, so I still think I made decent progress. Oh yeah, I finished Emmy's route. I was not expecting chapter 4 to be that short. So I wonder, like, should I be prepared for all, like, final chapters to be like that kind of, like, just a quick epilogue? No, because I titled the stream "Sprint to the Finish" because I thought it was going to be about Emmy the whole time. You know, because sprinting, finishing the route. I'm smart with names. No, I'm not. Yeah, it ended up being like 40 minutes of Emmy and like 2 hours of getting myself onto Rin's route, which we haven't truly begun yet, though I feel like it's been said. I think I'm locked into this route now. So, radio. Suppose, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with, Monster Hunter Rise. That'll be the earlier stream, so... What is it? It's 3 p.m. I start at 3 p.m. my time. Let me just remind myself. I do take note of what time that is, Pacific summertime. That'll be at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And yep. And then on Friday, of course, I'll be back with Mooney to continue our tour through the world of Final Fantasy XIV. We're moving into the Sea of Clouds this week. And of course, I've got I always put my timetables up on my Discord. There's links to that in my YouTube and in my Twitch. And yeah, I don't think there's any other special announcements to make this week. Gonna be good. Nearly getting to the end of Heavensward. What's my weapon of choice? My weapon of choice at the moment, I'm going with the Insect Glaive. I like being able to do like the pole vault attacks with it. It just feels so fun to jump around. And it's kind of unique as well. I've never seen a game that lets me wield like a bug as my offhand weapon. But like I've seen like so many other games have like hammers and swords and dual swords and crossbows. Like those are weapons. Like other games have them. Not every game goes, here, here's a bug, this is your weapon. Cool. So yeah. I suppose I might as well say as well, these Wednesday streams will only be lasting through the month of July. Normally I don't stream on Wednesdays, but I've got extra time in July because my church's prayer meetings aren't held during this month because everyone's away on their summer holidays. So, don't think there's anything else to say. It looks like it probably looks like it's going to be a wee while that I'll still be in Katawa Shoujo and Monster Hunter. Because apparently I've completed like only part 1 of the Monster Hunter Rise quests, and I've still got like 3 more chapters apparently to do. And obviously here in Katawa Shoujo, I've only completed 1 route, and I'm barely started on the 2nd out of 5. And let me just brain for a moment. Yeah, there might be. I might see if. I don't know if I'll have the same chance with Rise, but if I finish one of Katawa Shoujo's routes at Candios. Oh, you have me stuck there. I do not know what I'm assuming is Spanish. I think if I happen to finish a stream like at the end of a route in Katawa Shoujo, I think I might take like a brief break, like maybe just 1 or 2 streams to play one of the shorter games in my stream list. Just so I have some variety, because I don't like having my stream schedule be exactly the same for too long in a row. Go with God. Okay. Oh no. The languages I know the most about are that's literal translation? Oh. Yeah. I know like a like a pedestrian level of Japanese. Like when I've been in Japan, I've been able to, get around myself. I can, I'm capable of like going to a police officer and asking for directions because I got lost in Tokyo and couldn't figure out where the train station I was supposed to be at was. I would say I know some French, but nope. I did learn French, but that left me. And my languages teacher in school was too addicted to French to ever teach us Spanish, despite the fact that Spanish was on the curriculum. But yeah. I've been rambling. So, for now, I'll just say thank you for coming along. I do hope you enjoyed. And until the next stream, I hope you have a good day, have a good evening, and goodbye.